Welcome to Lab Coat. In today's video, we'll discuss photochemistry and its laws. Lambert-Beer's law, fluorescence and phosphorescence, quantum efficiency and quantum yield, primary and secondary processes in photochemical processes, photochemical versus thermal reactions, photoelectric cells. Let's get started. So let's see what is photochemistry. Photochemistry is all about chemical reactions triggered by light energy. When light hits a molecule, it can give that molecule enough energy to react. This is the science behind things like photosynthesis, photography, and even the way our eyes detect light. But before any reaction happens, we need to understand the primary and secondary processes of photochemistry. Photochemistry is guided by two primary laws. One, the Grotthuss-Draper law, states that only light absorbed by a molecule can cause a photochemical change. In other words, if light isn't absorbed, no reaction can happen. 2. The Stark-Einstein law describes a one-to-one relationship. Each photon absorbed excites only one molecule, meaning there's a direct link between absorbed light and molecular excitation. To understand how much light is absorbed in a photochemical reaction, we use Lambert-Beer's law. This law connects absorbance with concentration and path length. It helps scientists determine how much light a solution absorbs, which is essential for calculating reaction rates. Next, let's look at fluorescence and phosphorescence, which describe how molecules emit light after being excited. Fluorescence is a quick process where an excited molecule returns to its ground state, releasing light almost instantly. Phosphorescence takes longer because the molecule shifts to a triplet state before returning to the ground state, so we see a delayed glow. You've seen this in glow-in-the-dark materials. In photochemistry, we measure reaction efficiency using quantum efficiency or quantum yield. This ratio tells us how many absorbed photons lead to a desired reaction. A high quantum yield means most photons cause a reaction or emit light, as seen in efficient fluorescent materials. Low quantum yield occurs when energy is lost as heat or to other processes, reducing the amount of light or product generated. Photochemical reactions start with a primary process. In this step, a molecule absorbs a photon, which raises its energy level, making it excited. Think of it like charging up a battery. The molecule now has more energy and is ready to react. Next comes the secondary process. This is where the excited molecule either reacts directly or transfers its energy to another molecule. These steps can include bond breaking or forming new products. Photosynthesis is a great example. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight and through a series of reactions helps convert CO2 and water into glucose. Photochemical reactions rely on light energy, while thermal reactions rely on heat. In photochemical reactions, only specific wavelengths of light can trigger a reaction. For instance, in photographic film, light interacts with silver halide crystals, causing them to decompose and create an image. On the other hand, thermal reactions are driven by heat energy. The reaction speed depends on temperature. The higher the heat, the faster the reaction. Combustion, like the burning of wood or fuel, is a classic example of a thermal reaction. Now, let's discuss photoelectric cells. These devices convert light into electricity using the photoelectric effect. When photons hit a material like silicon, they knock electrons free, creating an electric current. This is how solar panels work. These cells power everything from calculators to satellites, all by turning sunlight into usable energy. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe,